Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me on another video, and today's video is going to be a good one because I'm going to talk about why I hate the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, a phone that I think is a really good phone. And it's obvious because no phone is perfect. All phones have flaws, and so does the Galaxy Note 8. So let me give you a quick recap on this. This format has two videos, one about the things I love about a phone and one about why I hate a phone. This video is why I hate the phone. Be sure to check out the other video that I'll post about why I love this phone so you guys get a better idea about the pros and the cons of this device from someone who's used it. So I've been using the Galaxy Note 8 for about a month and a half now, and this has been a very good experience, but there are some shortcomings. So let's get right into discussing those. Number one, this is going to be a double-edged sword because I mentioned this exact same thing in the things I love about it, but it has to be said, the size. The size of this phone is unreal. It is one of the most massive phones I've ever used, and that's coming from someone who's used a iPhone 6, 7, 8 Plus for about 3 years now. And this phone is just gargantuan. It really does feel large and uncomfortable at various times. And one thing I've come to understand about this phone is that it's not for, a quick casual usage. This is for heavy users. This phone is for those who want to be very active and they need that extra space and size to make things work. Number two, the speakers. So similar to the Galaxy S8, this only has a single bottom firing speaker, which sounds horrible. And it doesn't sound horrible in the sense that the sound quality is bad. It's just, it's not audible, it's not loud enough, and honestly, when it comes in comparison to the dual speakers of the iPhone 10, 8 Plus, and the Google Pixel 2 and 2 XL, it really doesn't even stand a chance. And what makes me really sad is that this is such a good display. It is really made to watch videos and content on. However, because of the speakers, you really can't enjoy it without having earphones or some sort of another audio setup, because the speakers on this are just not worth it. Number three, this goes back again to the size of the phone, but I don't like these squared off corners. So the Galaxy S8 has a very curvy design, and it has the curved edges as well. The edges in the sense, not the sides, the bottom corners as well. It has a much more square look, and while many people do appreciate the square look and like it better, in my own experience, I'm not a big fan of it because the squared edges means that while you're using it in your hand, it will start to be uncomfortable after a while, especially in your palm, because it's resting on your palm, it kind of starts to poke. And it kind of becomes very annoying after a while, which means you'll be uncomfortable, you'll have to put the phone down, and it kind of makes you not want to use the phone, which is the opposite because this phone has been made to be used and abused, and it kind of acts like a counterintuitive thing. So I wished it was a little bit more curved off, and things only get worse when you put a case on because that even makes it more squared off. So curved edges would have been appreciated like the S8, but I can understand why they did that. And another thing is that the display as well, it kind of loses that luster. It looks very normal in comparison to the S8. The S8 is very unique. It has those very rounded off edges on the display as well, which makes it look a lot more unique and special. This looks normal, and some people will prefer that. I personally don't. I like those drastic edges, and I like the more tapered off corners. This has very small tapers, and while it's, again, very good for a lot of people, personally, I don't like that. Number four, this is a thing that everyone has bashed so far. I think not one reviewer or one person on YouTube has said that they like this about the phone, and that is the fingerprint scanner placement. The fingerprint scanner on this phone is placed at the very top in the center where you really can't comfortably reach. So this is my hand. I have fairly decent sized hands, so my hands aren't small, but with my hands in the normal position that I use the device, there's absolutely no way I can reach the fingerprint scanner, which lies right here. So you guys can see there's a pretty big gap. Now that means that the phone is very difficult to operate without either shimmying it or holding it with two hands and doing this, and it honestly becomes a little bit irritating. The thing is, though, that I can understand why Samsung had to do it. The technology just wasn't there, and this looks a little bit neater when looking at the entire aesthetics of the device. However, the placement is very awkward. The good thing about it, though, is that, I'll mention this in the other video as well, is that you have options. You can use iris scanning or a face scanner to unlock your phone. However, the fingerprint is the most common and most comfortable way to unlock your phone, and it is very uncomfortably placed. Number 5, this again comes in tune with the size of the phone. Now, I love that the phone is very big and it has a huge display. One thing that I don't like about this phone is there's an absolute waste of space, because when you look at it, there's nothing that this phone adds to value, not when it comes to multitasking, but when it comes to normal usage, that the S8 doesn't give you. So when you open the phone, you have the same number of apps and icons on the pages. You have the same kind of layout throughout the device. This larger screen hasn't been harnessed for, so it feels like a waste of space, especially coming from the smaller phone. What I expect when I go to a larger phone is that it utilizes the space better, and I get more information and content in one screen without having to swipe back and forth or have it condensed. That the Note 8 doesn't do well. There's a lot of pages and a lot of areas that I'll have a video up here that will show you guys that it really is a waste of space. I mean, having such a large phone means nothing if you're going to get to view the exact same thing you'd get to view on a smaller device. The entire point is that you have extra space for more content. And one thing is that multitasking definitely does work a lot better on this phone. However, still, I don't use the multitasking window in Windows or split screen that often, so it doesn't very much benefit me, and I'd rather prefer what the S8 has, the smaller screen, but more items and more information on that screen. Number 6, so the last thing about this phone is that the phone is oddly weighted. So the phone is top heavy in my opinion, so when you're holding the phone like this, it feels like there's a lot of weight here. This phone is very heavy off the bat, and the way the weight is distributed inside the phone, it makes it feel like the phone is a lot heavier at the top. If you have a Note 8, do the simple test. Take it out of a case or anything you have. Hold it like this for a couple of seconds. Flip it around and hold it like this. I can bet you that immediately you'll feel a difference. And instead of feeling weight up here, you're going to feel more weight down in your palm now, because the phone seems to be balanced more towards the top. The weight seems to be distributed towards the top a little bit more than it is to the bottom. So when you're using the phone, such a large phone especially, it feels very insecure to have such a top-heavy device, because even a little smack or something by someone walking by or anything will immediately make you lose grip of the phone and have it fall down or slip from your hand, which isn't good in my opinion. And I really wish that Samsung did a little bit better job of weighting the phone a little bit more evenly. So that was it, guys. That's the 6 things I hate about the Galaxy Note 8. The Note 8 is an amazing device and there's so much good about it. However, as I said, no device is perfect. All of them have some flaws, and the Galaxy Note 8 had these 6. So let me know what you thought about it, and if you have a Note 8, do you agree with me? Do you not like these things about your phone? Or do you think that I'm being a little bit more too dramatic? Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content with the Galaxy Note 8. I have a lot more comparisons and in-depth reviews coming up with this phone. Be sure to check me out on social media as well. I have all the links down below, and I update all the behind-the-scenes stuff and just random day-to-day things on social media, so be sure to follow me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.